someone flips me a back body. So it's another one, yeah. It's a first one, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Hello and welcome to Green Diamond Boxing, hosted by iBoxingHub. My name's Aisha and my lovely guest for tonight is elite amateur boxer and national champion, Vivien Parsons. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm all good. I'm all right,
yeah. Good. So obviously I've interviewed you before. You've had quite a lot of other interviewers as well that have interviewed you, asked you about, how you got into boxing, like when it all started. So I'm just gonna, to prevent you to having repeating all of it all over again, I'm just gonna do a quick summary, and you just stop me if there's anything that I'm saying that's not 100% correct. Yeah. So for all those people that don't know much about Vivien's journey, so you started boxing at 12 in a Pee-wee boxing gym in Brixton under coach Bobby Mills, who still trains you now. You've had over 30 amateur fights, winning several championships, including nationals. You're now part of the England national boxing team, and you're hoping to go to Olympics in 2024 if selected. Is that all right?
That is all correct.
Okay. Yeah. So just to start off, could you just tell us a bit more, in detail about your amateur career so far and kind of what titles you've won, what championships you've won?
Yeah, so I've been boxing. I had my first fight when I was 13, I think. I won titles at junior youth, and then moving into senior, I won my first senior title this year. And then off the back of that, I won Tri-Nations, and I had my first. How many fights? I've had 4 fights for England now, so I won them all. That's been a very exciting year so far. Yeah,
that really is. Yeah, that's amazing to have that. And I know you've got another fight coming up soon, and we'll talk about that a bit later. But you've done so much up to now, even with your amateurs. What's your proudest moment so far?
I think it has to be winning nationals this year, because it was second time lucky for me. So last year we entered and we got to the finals in my first year as a senior, which was still amazing, but they lost out to a girl who's now gone on to the GB team. But I knew this had to be my year, so ticking that off this year was probably the big one for me.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And in terms of motivation, so you must get a lot of that motivation from partly from the professional fighters that you train with. So in Brixton Gym, you're training with Isaac Chamberlain, Oliver Edwards, Mohammed Samir. But what other things motivate you and keep you so consistent in your boxing training?
I think it's just seeing the improvements all the time, especially when I've been with the same coach. We've always been following that same path, so it's never been, for a lot of people, it's sort of stop-start, especially as they become teenagers. But where we just continued, we trained over lockdown. I've always seen improvements, so you're always you've always got that new thing to work towards, which I love.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We actually had a question from Tony Ellis. Have you sparred any known boxers so far? I'm not sure how much you're allowed to say on that. But is there anyone that you're allowed to say that you've sparred with?
Probably the 2 most well-known. I've sparred Sky Nicholson a few times, and I sparred Ellie Scotney a couple of times, which are both really good sparring. But obviously both world title challengers, or Ellie Scotney's world title now. So really amazing experience.
Amazing and so exciting. So in terms of obviously you're training constantly, you're also teaching boxing as well. And you're only 20?
Yeah, 20.
20? Do you ever feel like you're missing out on other things? I'm sure other people your age are doing loads of different things, going out, eating whatever they want because they're not training for a fight. So do you ever feel like you're missing out
that would
on
be
anything?
Nice. So it's easy to feel like that every now and again if you let yourself get sort of just sucked into the boxing, and if that's the only thing going on in your life, then you feel like you miss out. But where I've been doing boxing since I was so young, my friends and my family are so supportive. They never made me feel like I was missing out on this or that. I couldn't. obviously there's moments where you're like, oh, it'd be nice to
Yeah.
relax for a bit. But I know, like, when you achieve those things, when you win that medal or you or whatever happens, it's all worth it. And if you keep that in your head, then yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What
Yeah.
so what keeps you focused and like and not go off the tracks and do something else?
I think it's like being able to relax in between. Like if boxing was really the only thing I ever thought about, then
Mm,
uh you would eventually just like burst and everything would go wrong at some point. But
yeah,
having
yeah.
that release where none of my friends box really, my family's not too involved in my boxing, so at least
Mhm.
when I'm not in the gym and I'm not working, I can focus on something else. It's
Yeah,
always
no,
nice.
no, absolutely. I know you've mentioned previously that you want to obviously go into the pros maybe in about a
Mm,
year, 18 months. That's kind of the sort of timeline you're thinking,
yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Next sort of 18 months, I think.
Okay. And obviously, like in terms of professional fights, there's a lot of hype around it. There's a lot of like press conferences and media, and you have like music when you go out in a ring walk, and you don't get all of that with the amateurs. So like when you walk out, and I
No.
was watching some of the amateur fights, and you walk out and it's like a bit of kind of quiet. It's like no
Yeah.
music and there's no hype. And how does that feel walking out for an amateur fight and there's like really not much going on out there?
To be honest, I quite like it. Like
Yeah.
that's how you train. Do you know what I mean? You just by yourself in the gym, just you and your coach. So it's just like you're doing the same thing when you then go and box.
Mm.
Um, when we did have so for nationals, you have like a ring walk and they all do it all proper up with the cameras and that.
Oh,
It is fun
really?
because
Okay.
yeah, it's sort of it feels like something you've really earned by that point.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want that every time because you need to earn those opportunities, really.
Yeah. So do you kind of enjoy that sort of glitzy side to it? Because obviously that would be what your professional career would be. Every single time you fight, you'd have that, everything else coming with it. Do you think you might
Yeah,
enjoy that or not really? Just find it a
yeah.
nuisance?
I think I would enjoy it. I think you have to enjoy it, or else sort of
Yeah.
what's the point of all the hard work? Like
Yeah.
enjoy the rewards when you're there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, for sure. So if you were to do that, then what would you choose as your ring walk music?
Oh, so what did I do? For nationals, I did Move On Up, Curtis
Oh,
Mayfield.
okay. Oh,
I
nice.
really liked. So I think I'd probably stick to that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Do you ever think about maybe like your outfit, what you might look like? I know people go into like designers and all of that for that kind of stuff, don't they?
I know. The craziest I went is for my shorts. I've got my name on it, and that for me was like enough. It's not really my thing,
No, so you're not into all the like the
but yeah,
tassels and the I don't
no,
know
I'm
the
alright.
glitter.
Not for me.
It's quite interesting to see what people's choice of
I know.
shorts and the designs are. I'm actually quite like waiting to see what they choose
Yeah,
for their
yeah,
fights. But yeah.
yeah.
Bukayo Saka's asking, what boxes do you look up to?
What boxes? I think the obvious one is Katie Taylor, which I
Yeah.
mean you have to respect what she's done for the sport. She's literally transformed female boxing. Like it wouldn't be anywhere near the level that it was if it weren't for her.
Mm,
Um, but also like there are people who came before her. There were like Layla Ali, and there was all those Jane Couch, all those boxers who came that people sort of forget about. But
yeah.
female boxing has existed before 2012,
Oh,
and you've got to like respect those people who really did it the
mm,
hard way. Like there
yeah.
was nothing there when we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, definitely. There always has to be a trailblazer, though, right? To open things up for
100%.
people after them.
Yeah.
So absolutely. DB saying Salam sis. Welcome salam to DB. So what is the ultimate dream for Viv Parsons?
The dream. Um, has to be has to be world titles, like world champion.
Yeah, world
Yeah,
champion.
for me. Yeah.
Do you
Like
obviously boxers say that they say that that is the ultimate, that's where I want to get to.
yeah.
For you, why is that a goal? Why is that your thing that you want to reach?
Um from I don't know. It is partly that is a thing you've got to do, but like if I could really prove that all the hard work that I've been doing for years and years,
Mm,
if you could really prove that we're number one. There's no doubt in it. That is like it makes it all worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Everything else is just that one step below is good, but if you can really reach the pinnacle of your sport, you can just say you've done it all.
Yeah. Do you think that's more like for yourself as a fighter, like to prove to yourself that you can do it and you have done it? Or do you think it's more like letting people know that you are the best at this, or
No, prove it to yourself.
prove it to yourself?
Prove it to
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Because I guess that's the thing that keeps you going then as well, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
you against yourself is kind of how it is, isn't
Yeah.
it?
If you're always pushing and comparing yourself to other people, at some point there's not going to be people to compare yourself to, or you're gonna just get so bogged down in those other people that you
Yeah.
sort of forget why you're doing it. But if you can keep doing it for yourself, then you've always
Yeah.
got something else to reach for.
No, absolutely. And you think that feeds into the motivation, and like, because I always wonder, why is it that boxers get up in the morning to do this kind of tough routine? It's
Yeah.
not easy at all, and they do it day after day after day. Um, and obviously everyone has their down days. Everyone's like, oh, I can't bother to get out of bed today, but they carry on,
Yeah.
and they just, what is that thing, that motivation in them that just keeps them going? And that's what I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, to be fair. I think for me, it's just being able to challenge myself every day. Like, I know if I stopped doing this, I'd be bored, and I feel like I hadn't reached my potential, and to
Mm,
feel like there's always that next level I can get to, or something else I can reach for. I think that's what pushes me. Like,
yeah.
you're never sort of done learning in boxing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But as you know, the sports world can be very rough on athletes, quite tough on them. So whenever athletes do have a low point, I think a lot of people generally can be quite judgmental, you know, quite harsh as well.
100%. Yeah.
Do you think that generally people should be a bit more understanding and forgiving, or do you think that there is some justification for the harshness because people spend so much money to go out to watch, whether it's boxing or football or whatever it is, the fans, they spend a lot of time and money. Do you think there's any justification in that harshness, or really people should just like calm it down a bit?
Um, I think if you've paid your money and you put all that energy into going and supporting a fighter, and you feel like they don't give their best, then yeah, you can.
Mm,
There's fair criticism there, but the people who sit behind their computers at home and they'll criticize world-class fighters saying they're not this or they're not that, when they've put no energy. They're not really supporting at any point. They're there to criticize, and they'll criticize anything they can see.
yeah.
But no, not really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you're right. Like if it's fair criticism, like that person just hasn't, put the
Yeah,
effort in, then all right, fine. But I think most fighters, you're going in there, you could get very seriously injured. The vast majority
yeah,
of them are going to put in everything that they can every single time.
100%.
Because why would you not, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, you put your life on the line when you get in there. So, and
yeah,
everyone knows that, but you don't
yeah.
take it for granted.
No,
Really.
exactly. So then when they do that, and then people are like criticizing, oh gosh, this person was rubbish, they didn't fight well. I just feel like give the person a break.
Yeah,
You
100%.
yeah, that really makes me feel a bit like maybe just cut a bit of slack a bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all right, so if you went boxing, first let's go to sports. Would there be any other sport that you would have done if you weren't boxing?
I did quite a few sports growing up. Like, I was very, very active. So I did
Mhm.
judo for quite a few
Okay.
years. I did. I played netball as a team sport, yeah. But I think I always loved running, like
Mm,
sprinting. I think when I was young, I was like, oh, I'd like love to reach the Olympics as a sprinter, and looking up to like Shelley, Aaron Fisher-Price, and Dean Rush Smith, and all of them who've done
yeah.
that. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah.
All right, so you might have done that then. Maybe you might have gone into that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm good enough, but it's nice to imagine you would be.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have been. Because I mean, in terms
Thanks.
of, sports people and athletics, you've got to just have a drive for it. And if you've got that,
Yeah.
you can do anything, I think. So yeah. All right then. So sports aside, if you weren't doing sports, is there anything else that you would be doing? What other interests do you have?
What else would I be doing? What else am I doing? I honestly don't know. Like, I'll be going mad at home somewhere. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I don't think I'd be very happy doing it.
Yeah.
Because I know boxing, or yeah, boxing is my passion, but
Mm.
yeah,
Is there
what
any
I
other
love to
interests
do.
you have, like outside of boxing, even now?
Do you know
Have you
what? I
started more?
always thought I was always really interested in psychology, so I think if I
Okay.
went and I studied, I'd study sports
Mm.
psychology.
Yeah, that's a really
It's
interesting one,
something I'd really
actually.
like to do. Yeah,
Yeah. I think that's really interesting. So we have just got a couple of questions. Yours truly, Trey, is saying, do you plan to compete in the next Olympics before turning pro?
that would be the ultimate goal, but it's you've got to be selected first. So
Yeah.
I knew there's a few other girls floating around by my weight. So yeah, I mean the Olympics would be amazing. It's the pinnacle of amateurs, but you can achieve a lot more without those Olympics. There's the Commonwealths, there's the Europeans,
Mm,
there's all of these other boxes to tick just to
yeah.
put yourself in amongst the best people. And that's
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
really want to be, like challenge myself, whether it's the Olympics or whatever tournament. Yeah, I want
Yeah. Just pushing yourself as much as you can.
100%,
Yeah.
wherever that leads me to. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Bukayo Saka's got, does Katie Taylor win the rematch? I think you've been asked that question about 3, 4 times now. I think I could just
I don't
answer
see how
3.
she wins it. Yeah, exactly. I don't see how she wins that rematch.
Yeah.
She's Her feet
Oh,
aren't quick enough to outbox Cameron for 10 rounds anymore.
yeah. That's sad though. I feel sad about that
It is.
because obviously she's going to be in Ireland again.
Yeah,
You know, she is a fighter, as you said in a previous
100%.
interview. She definitely doesn't go for the easy fights at all. Um,
No.
you know, she's doing a rematch for Cameron, which is a tough opponent
Yeah,
in her hometown.
at a heavier weight as well.
Heavyweight. It's just like all difficult stuff.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
Katie Taylor, honestly, give yourself a
Straight
break, love.
after Serrano fight as well. Like
Yeah,
she
and
hasn't
that was
taken
such
the
a
easy
good
route
fight. Oh, the
at
Serrano fight
all.
was mad.
Yeah,
Gosh, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a good fight, but wow, they both really put it on the line there. Just
yeah,
gave
yeah, yeah.
it their all, didn't they? That was a
Full
great
respect.
match to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, love Katie Taylor, absolutely love her. And yeah, wish her all the best in her next fight, and hope that she can do it, because I think she would want to get that win, maybe retire after that, maybe is what I'm thinking.
yeah.
Finish on a high,
See how long.
you know. But
Yeah,
if she doesn't
exactly.
win, then who knows? She might try for another match before
Oh my God.
before
Too much.
retiring, you know.
Yeah, let's see.
Um, So that's that one. And then Palama's music saying, can you ask Viv what's her musical choice for ring entrance? So we did already say that is fine. I know Palama's
Yeah.
music, you weren't here. Move on up is what you said. Is that the same one you would pick, or maybe you pick another one for the next time?
Another one I said, oh, I can never remember the name of it. There was an AC/DC one that I picked for my first nationals, but they messed it up. So I never got to
Oh
hear it.
no. Oh
But if I
no.
can remember the name of that, then I might go for that one. Because we
Yeah.
played it a lot in training camp, so it's nice, like
Oh, okay.
good energy for everyone
Mm,
when you
yeah.
walk out. Yeah.
No, definitely. Chris BNG is asking, Viv, who's your favorite boxer?
Favorite boxer, I think I'd go for Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I think,
Back, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
legend.
Yeah, amazing. So there is a massive card coming up in Saudi
Hmm.
Arabia, 23rd of December. Loads of people on there. What do you make of that card?
It's a strange card. It's a bit of a like who's who of boxing.
Yeah, yeah,
Just put them all together on the same night. I mean, it's pretty incredible. It's not something you're really gonna see too many times.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, but I don't know how, like, as a boxing fan, like how much you're getting out of the fights there, other than
Mm,
just to see them all on the same stage and in one night.
yeah. I think it's going to be like an amazing night, but I guess partly because there's so many high profile fighters, you kind of also think, are people getting their time? Do you know what I mean? Because they're
True.
sharing this stage with so many other high profile fighters, it's like, are they getting that attention that they should be getting? Because you could put nearly all of them on a card by themselves, like as the main
100%.
fights. Do you know what I
100%.
mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, you just wonder, is it
Yeah.
diluting their importance slightly because you've got so many of them on the same card?
Yeah, no, you're right. Because obviously, when you've got someone like Bivol on the undercard, if like he would be headlining
Yeah.
any other show ever, he's probably the best boxer on there technically, and it's
Even.
easy for someone like him for his skill to get lost in that sort of just like
Mm.
show that's going on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good
For
point.
sure. Anyone in particular that you're looking forward to seeing on that card? Or any
Who's
fight
on
in
there?
particular?
Who's on there? Who's Deontay Wilder facing again?
He's facing Parker.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll watch that fight. I think any fight with Wilder is just a, like what's waiting for that knockout to happen. It's got to be exciting. Yeah,
Does he get it? Does he not get it? Does he land? Does he not land? Yeah.
he almost always lands. That's what I'm going for.
So yeah, that's a good one for sure. There's so many of them. I think it's just going to
Yeah,
be a mad night.
yeah.
So outside of the professional fighters that you train with,
hmm
who would be your favorite professional fighter right now who's currently fighting, that you would pick?
Someone who's sort of coming through at the
Yeah,
moment. Do you mean? Um,
maybe not even coming through, just established, but apart from Manny Pacquiao, who's had loads of fights
oh
and
yeah.
not really fighting much anymore.
Thanks. Who would I always tune in to see? Obviously, there's local fighters around. You get like Ellie Scotney's probably the only sort of South London female who's around, and she's out there winning world titles. So I'll always tune
Yeah.
in to watch her. Um, Also Ram Lali, someone I've trained
Okay.
around as well. I think she's doing amazing things for like Muslim community and for
Mm,
just changing the perception of female boxing. And I
yeah,
think, especially after winning that rematch the other day, she's
yeah,
really
definitely.
established herself and she's changed her style quite a lot.
Mm,
She's done really well for herself. So
yeah,
um,
absolutely.
there's a lot of cruiserweights around as well, obviously around Isaac's division. Always an exciting fights that we watch around, and yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely. Cruiserweight division's really exciting,
it's
actually.
amazing. And light
Um,
heavyweight division.
yeah, agreed. Absolutely. Do you go to watch live fights much apart from the Brixton fighters, obviously, that you would go to support?
I've been to watch a few, so I got to watch. I did get to watch Katie Taylor live.
Yeah.
And one of her fights.
Did you say?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
amazing. Oh, nice.
in Over Arena, and I went to watch the all-female card with Fields
Mhm.
Marshall, which was amazing experience,
Oh, wow.
a once in a lifetime, which I
Yeah.
loved. But I'd like to go and watch more,
Yeah.
especially like small hall fights. I think you
Okay.
always
Yeah.
get some good 50-50 cards on there.
Yeah, no,
Things are exciting.
absolutely. No, for sure. I think it's so nice to be there and watch it live. Like just being part of the atmosphere as well
Yeah, it's so
is
different.
really nice. It's so different. It really is. Sometimes you can't see as well as maybe when you're watching it on TV because they
It's
show you
true.
all the angles. So
It's true.
depending on where you're
But
sitting, you might not see it as well. But still,
yeah.
really, really nice to go live. And yeah, I definitely want to be attending more live things as well. So Paloma's Music has said Back in Black.
No, what was it?
No.
Oh, no,
And
it's
he's asked,
gonna
is it
annoy me
Dillian
now.
White's tune? Um, so when you remember, you can tell us.
Right. Thanks.
Yours truly, Trey, saying we need more female cards like the one you went to. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, that was an amazing kind of lineup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have liked to go see that in live as well, but I didn't get to actually. Yeah, I agree with this question. So Palomas Music is asking, can someone explain why 2 South London fighters in Boatsi and Aziz are going to be fighting in North London? They're fighting in Wembley Arena.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't know what the big stadiums in South London are
Well, I would have
that
said
would.
O2 personally. I would have said,
Oh yeah,
O2
no,
Arena,
that's true. Where is
Indigo.
that? Greenwich, isn't it?
Yeah, Greenwich, yeah. So
Yeah,
that would have been perfect place, I
it's
think,
true.
to host it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
even
it was
when
really crazy.
that card was originally out with Isaac and with Lowell on it, 3 of those
Mm,
fighters were still South London fighters.
yeah,
It did make more sense.
definitely. Especially when you're trying to say the clash of South London fighters and you're
It's
going to go
true.
put it in North London. Why, that doesn't make no sense.
Yeah.
I just want to know who makes these decisions.
Yeah.
Ask us, we'll tell you. But yeah, who do you think is going to win from the two? Dan Aziz and Boatsi?
If I had to put money on it, I'd go Aziz.
Yeah.
I think he's just got the momentum with him,
Mhm.
and he's just on that winning streak where he's ticked off English, British,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't know what's stopping him really. Not that I don't rate Boatsi, I think it'll be a
Mm.
really, really good fight, but Boatsi hasn't been looking on top form, and I think when you've got that belief behind you, like Aziz will do, just got to carry it through and see where it takes you.
Yeah.
Really?
No, absolutely. Big up to my iBoxingHub brothers, Crispy NG, yours truly, Trey, Ikram in the background, and also Rico and Ra. So yours truly, Trey, is saying Team Aziz. So yeah, just what you said as well. So yeah, I personally, because I just like them both so much, even in the last one, I was just like telling everyone that I'm praying for a draw, which is not
Oh
what
yeah?
any fighter ever wants. So
No.
they always want to win, of course. But I don't want anyone to get knocked out
Fair.
because I just
Yeah.
don't want them to. And yeah, I'm on the fence, so that's why I just want to
Mm.
draw. So in terms of Plomer's music saying, then for more pain, some night might be Ben Eubank Jr. Same night. Oh yeah, that's true. Same night they might be doing Ben and Eubank Jr. Oh, I don't
Really?
know.
On the
Yeah,
same night?
yeah, yeah. That's what I heard as
Boxing
well.
makes no sense
I know it
sometimes.
doesn't, does it? Especially when you want like the crowd to be going to one place and then you kind of do
Yeah.
another.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
Yeah.
just splitting up the crowd. But anyways, so in terms of this show that I'm doing, Green
Hmm.
Diamond Boxing, it's all about self-improvement, taking learning from boxers, elite athletes, people in the boxing world, on how we as people who aren't athletes can basically become the best versions of ourselves. So
Hmm.
as a boxer, what advice would you give to someone who wants to be successful in their field or their venture, whatever it is that they're doing? But anything that you've learned in terms of, pushing yourself, motivate yourself, being an elite athlete, what learning can you help us with and give to us, basically?
I think it sounds cliche, but I think you can't let those setbacks and those um yeah, it's those times when you feel like you're not getting the opportunities you want or you're not quite reaching your potential, you can't let that limit where you can go
Yeah.
because everyone has setbacks. Like
Yeah.
if I was where I was as a junior, people wouldn't have looked at me and said, "Oh, she's gonna win this or she's gonna be on England team," because I didn't get loads of fights.
Mm.
I wasn't beating the top girls when I went on boxing, but like with the team around me, we always knew that's what I could do, and I believed that's what I could do. And there's been a lot of setbacks, but if you can keep the same momentum and the same consistency through all of that, then you will achieve at the end of the day. Like you have to. If you're putting in the
Yeah.
work, you have to get the results at some point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just about pushing on, isn't it? Not letting those setbacks define you. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, because loads of people have that. They like lose fights and then they go on to win like world
Loads of
championships, or
people.
like it happens so much, and you learn so much when you lose a fight, or when you drop or when you fall. You learn so much, and it helps you to get even better than you probably would have done if you hadn't had that as well, right?
100%. You can't learn the same lessons if you're winning all the time, if you're always succeeding and reaching, than you do if because you're never gonna perform well every time. The
Yeah.
important thing is when you don't perform well, you realize why you haven't done that and you learn from it.
Yeah.
And that's a key, really. Learn every time.
Yeah, as long as you take learning from it, then at least it's a lesson for you. I think
100%.
the tragedy comes when you fall and you haven't learned anything from it,
Yeah.
and then you just do it again.
Yeah, plenty of people who keep making the same mistakes.
Yeah. So just
You
learn
don't want to be
from
one
the
of them,
mistakes.
please.
Take home message for today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Viv, can you just give out your Instagram handle, please, and how people can contact you and stay in touch with you for your journey?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Viv_Parsons. I'm trying to be more active on there. Should be a bit more active.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a couple of fights coming up with England to finish the year, so I
Yeah,
will watch.
absolutely.
See what happens.
So your next fight is when now?
This week. So we're traveling out to Croatia on Thursday, and there's 5 girls, so 5 England girls coming out, hopefully
Amazing.
bringing back gold medals.
And what is that title for?
It's just a box up, but it's an international tournament,
Okay.
so all good experience.
Oh,
Be
amazing.
getting out there.
That sounds so great. And is part of like the excitement in going abroad as well, because this one's in Croatia, you said.
Yeah,
Is that like that
yeah,
must add to the excitement of it all?
100%. Somewhere
Yeah.
I've never been before. It'll be a completely different culture, completely different everything. So that'd
Yeah.
be exciting.
No, absolutely. So huge good luck for your next fight.
Thank you.
Obviously you do know Maria Melencia, who was boxing in
Yes,
she's
yeah,
from Croatia. I
Maria.
think she's there right now, actually.
Yeah,
So
she's on literally the other side of the country.
oh,
I
is
was
she?
get her
Oh, what a
down, but
shame.
yeah,
Oh, I'm sure
I
she would have loved
know.
to see you fight as
Yeah,
well. But yeah, all the best for it. I'm sure you're going to smash
thank
it.
you.
Thank you so much for being on the show, and I
No,
hope to catch up with you soon.
thank you.
Thanks a lot, Viv. Take care.
See ya.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get